I've got to say one thing. But when we cut away and Louis walked through and toward the audience, as he was walking out the audience, it was funny. He just went, just like an old pro. I just about fainted, you know. I think he's ready for a show of his own.
You watch him. He'll take years.
Oh, he can have it.
No.
Our next guest did for brain surgery what Gene Autry did for Horse Lovers. Of course, known for his successful portrayal of Ben Casey and many major films. A wonderful-looking gentleman and a nice one, too. Mr. Vince Edwards.
Take your pulse.
Oh, God. Don't take my blood pressure.
She's in good shape.
You know, the first thing when I saw you this morning, I hate to be corny, but having seen you on television so often, I thought that you were about my size, about 5'10", but you're a big, tall guy.
Well, what most people don't realize is Dr. Zorba, Sam Jaffe, is 6 feet tall. And his wife's about 5'8". So a lot of people ask me that.
People notice that.
Well, they thought he was a little man, about 5'6", but he's pretty tall.
Did I read somewhere quite a while ago that you have a twin brother? Do you have a twin?
Yeah, I do have a twin brother, yes. He lives in New York, he works there. And, no, he's not in the audience.
Identical twin?
No, we the only thing alike about us are our names. I mean, family name, but we don't look alike at all.
You look like you might have had an athletic background. Did you have, Vince?
Yeah, I swam when I was in college. I swam for Ohio State.
You're from Ohio State?
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Well, I was born in New York,
oh,
but
I see.
I went to school there.
That's a fine school.
Yeah, they beat SC this year.
You're from California. You have
That's
to go
right.
back, see?
Well, when the show was playing, I wanted them to know I'm a Buckeye.
How long did you do that series, the Ben Casey series?
We did it for 5 years and about 160 patients. About 140 of them died. But Kildare saved 140.
I don't think too many people realize that a show like the Ben Casey show plays not only in the United States but other parts of the
Over
world.
about 57 countries, yeah.
All of it. So all over the world
Oh,
you
sure.
recognize, really.
In Japan, they really liked it there. It was #1 for 2 or 3 years.
How does Ben Casey sound in Japanese?
I tell you, I went on a tour there once, and the day I got there was a show that night, Ben Casey with Sammy Davis and I. And you should hear Sammy in Japanese.
He should
tell
have
you
said
something else.
You know, was Ben Casey's character, I don't think it was at all close to your personality, was it?
Well, you know, you do a successful show and people kind of identify you with the character. I patterned Ben Casey after a doctor I saw there, who was kind of a salty guy. And everybody, you know, they assume that you're salty.
Yes.
I'm really not that salty all the time.
How did you get
I like to laugh, too.
How did you get started in the movie business? Was it right out of college or what?
Well, I got there actually I was a singer when I started.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work in the Catskills, the Borscht Belt. In summer vacations, I'd work up in the mountains. You know the Catskills?
Yeah, beautiful.
And,
Minnie would be a big hit up there.
Oh, they'd love you up there. But I used to work there in the summer, and, you know, it would help me get through school. And then I did a play once, a Broadway play. A friend of mine got me in High Button Shoes, if you remember that play.
Yes.
Musical. I was small part.
You sang in it, though.
Well, I ran through doors, chorus boy, dancer, singer, you know, for about...
You danced?
Well, kind of dance. I don't dance that well, but, you know, it was a scene with a lot of college football players.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran through doors, and I was one of the guys that went through the door. So, and from there, I, you know, made rounds in New York and just did small parts and things.
You did a lot of B movies, didn't you?
Yeah, well, the word B I don't like. It was low budget. I thought they were A. Some of them were.
Somebody said to me that you think that Hollywood producers are snobs. What do you mean by that?
Well, yeah. Like, ask most people who their favorite movie stars are, and they'll name probably 60% of them will be television personalities. So my contention is that most producers should use these people more often in major films.
Well, there aren't, off the top of my head, I can think of about 3 names, people who graduated from
Oh, Lee
TV,
Marvin,
yeah,
Steve McQueen, Jim
and-
Garner.
And Garner.
But it's always a fight,
Why? Why is it
because
such a
you have
fight?
to prove yourself in every medium.
In other words,
As if you're an actor, then you want to sing, so then you've got to prove in the record business. Then you've got to prove it in TV. Then you've got to prove it in, legitimate. It's always a fight.
Why should that be?
I don't know.
Why should an established performer have to prove himself in any phase of the business? I don't understand that.
I think it all lies within I think the people in the business are the biggest fans and the biggest people they're the kind of people that put you in categories. I mean, a producer will say, yeah, he's big on TV, but I don't want to use him in a major picture. And you have to convince them. The audiences are always convinced.
Do you think necessarily that someone who is popular on television would be popular in films?
Well, sure. Steve McQueen did Wanted Dead or Alive for years. Lee Marvin did M Squad. Clint Eastwood had a series as Rawhide that ran for years.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's getting a lot of pictures. Jim Garner is Maverick. A lot of them.
You're part owner of a record company now.
Yeah, I started, Haim Mizrahi, who used to have Kama Sutra records, The Lovin' Spoonful. You know The Lovin' Spoonful? And Red Schwartz started a company called Remember Records.
Remember, that's
Yeah,
a
we
label.
put out a first release.
That's a good name for a label. What do you think of some of the music of today, Vince?
I like it.
You find that it's as easy to sing as the old standard ballads?
Well, I think if you have to get material that suits you. I mean, a good hard rock singer would obviously fall into that a lot easier than he would a ballad.
You have a brand new record now.
Yeah.
Who wrote this song?
A young guy called Rupert Holmes. He's 19, and I think he's...
19.
Yeah, brilliant musician. I think he'd be another Jimmy Webb.
Good night. Will you sing it for us now? We'd
Like
love to hear
to.
you sing. Vince Edwards.